Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to talk about some simple, basic stuff as well as some complicated, heavy material. Things that are going to make you think. They're going to make you question if atheism has the answer for anything. These are questions I've asked myself for a long time, and I never could come up with an answer whenever I was a non-believer. And I guarantee as you watch my comments section after this video is made, atheists will not be able to answer the questions as well as the points that I make. Just watch, pay attention. If you are an atheist or an agnostic, do me a favor. I want you to turn around right now, and I want you to look directly at any mirror that is nearby. And I want you to look at it, and I want you to ask yourself who you are. That simple of a question. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, where did the voice inside your head come from? This thing that people represent as consciousness. Why is it that you have this for? Why is it that there is no animal in the world that has the ability to be able to have that voice inside their head that shows them what to do, why not to do things, and such? Atheists and agnostics are very fond of sitting there saying that there is no God or there's simply not enough information for a God. But they simply can't even answer who they are as a person or where their consciousness came from. They can't even answer the question of where life began and how it existed. It's easy to sit around and say, well, science says evolution, but evolution doesn't tell you how it is any of life got here. It doesn't tell you why you exist for. It simply gives you a bunch of concepts and theories about how one transitions from this and that, but it doesn't tell you where the original source came from, where the original little speck came from, where it is consciousness came from. These are things to think about. And if someone is intellectually honest, then they will realize they don't have the answer, and they won't be arrogant and prideful and pretend as though they know something they don't. Some humans out there have the capability of painting beautiful pictures. Some of them paint abstract ideas. Where do they get that from? Atheists usually will describe things as being a part of nature and that we have instincts, and the reason why we're able to do certain things like run like we do this, do that, is because this is nature built into us, so we would be able to survive the environment and whatever variables we come up against. But how would they explain the reason why it is we have beautiful artwork and masterpieces? How is it that man was able to create these things? Painting a Mona Lisa isn't going to cause one to be able to have better probability of survival. It doesn't have anything to do with your instincts whatsoever. So why is it that humans have the ability to paint the beautiful paintings, direct these fantastic movies that exist throughout our world, to be able to have the kind of imagination they do, the ability to create unique worlds and unique ideas that have never existed before? Where does that inspiration come from? Can they even tell you where inspiration itself is? Or why? Why does the human brain do this? Could it possibly be because we create, because maybe, just maybe, we come from a creator that has inspiration and imagination? A lot of atheists out there subscribe to the concept of a Big Bang, a singularity that basically infused itself and imploded and basically expanded throughout the universe. But how do they know it's just one single singularity? How do they know that there's not simply many different pockets that are just the same way that expand and explode in all different directions? Because from our understanding of the universe, we are very infantile of our knowledge of what we know. How do they know that there wasn't a singularity over here or a singularity over there that also did exactly the same thing? And how do they know that the universe begins or ends? They do not know. They do not know if it goes on forever and ever. There is no way to be able to define or measure the universe. The universe is not sitting in some kind of aquarium or box where it can be measured from corner to corner or side to side. So how do they know? How do they know that what they're seeing whenever they look at the remnants of what they claim to be the Big Bang, that there isn't simply more material going this way as this way? They will say, well, they base it on radiation, but how far do those tools go? They don't really know. So go ahead and answer. Do you know the measurements, and how would you actually know the age of the universe? I'm all ears, ladies and gentlemen. Give me what you got. How does an atheist know that the universe simply hasn't begun over and over again? If things started with a singularity, and the theory is that things are going to end with a crunch or end with a rubber band effect, how do you know that the universe simply doesn't explode, expand out, then basically come to a point where it heats up, it's over, and then it starts over and regenerates life over and over with either the help of God or simply by itself with no kind of assistance at all? Go ahead, answer that. Feel free. We're all ears. We're all eyes, too. If you don't mind, one more time, ladies and gentlemen, take a look at that mirror again. You know, the one I asked you to look at in the beginning, where you are basically questioning who you are, why you're here, why it is you have a consciousness in which you can think. Now, I want you to think about this. If you have the ability to have a consciousness that basically helps you through your everyday life, then who are you and what are you to sit there and tell other people that there is not an external force in the universe, that it too can think, it too can sit there and have a consciousness, it too has the ability to create just like you? How easy it would be for you to just simply say, well, I can't see it, I can't hear it. There's plenty of things, millions of things in the universe that you cannot see with the human eye. Trillions of things, actually, if one wants to really sit there and expand their ideas on this. There are things that are right in front of you, ladies and gentlemen, that you cannot see. You cannot see many things if it wasn't for some of the tools that we have today. And where did we get the inspiration, and where did we get the ideas for this technology? If it wasn't for the technology, the understanding, the knowledge that we think that somehow we absorbed on our own, we wouldn't be able to see nothing, wouldn't have anything. So how can one sit there and say that there's definitely no conscious out in the universe that did any of this stuff or had some kind of assistance or put production into it? You don't know. You can't even explain why your own brain works the way it does. Humanity hasn't even come to the understanding of why the mind works the way it does, yet you're going to sit there and arrogantly and pridefully say, there is no God, there is nothing out there thinking, there is nothing out there watching. Are you sure? Besides not being able to give an adequate answer for why life is what it is, and why it is you have a consciousness, and why you are who you are, and why it is the universe exists, none of these things that you can answer. So most likely you're not going to be able to answer the questions about death and what happens to us after we die. Since you don't know anything about the consciousness, and you don't know why it is that your brain works the way it does, you can't possibly know that after this body leaves, or it simply doesn't exist, or it withers away, if your consciousness is going to go on beyond this world. You don't know. You have absolutely no idea, and for you to sit there and say that there is no afterlife, there is no God, who are you? What gives you the authority? You don't even have the intelligence, you don't even have the education to be able to make that kind of point. All you can do is sit there and give zings and zings and zings and zings, but you can't give any of the facts, you can't give evidence for your claims. If you assert that there is no afterlife, and you assert that there is no external force with a consciousness that may have had something to do with the universe or had something to do with life itself, then you need to shut up. Shut up and think. Think more. Humility. Listen. Pay attention. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen. It was fun. Feel free to connect with me on Facebook, Twitter, and of course YouTube and Blip TV. Also, don't forget to check out my official website, brettkeane.com.